welcome loves to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be showing you tips and tricks that I use every single time I do my makeup look, and it's going to be quick, easy, and I hope you're going to give it a try. Let's get started. First, if you use Mousse foundation, the one that I'm using is from Essence. Your skin has to be very well hydrated and moisturized. In this case, I'm using my Aqua Peeling AHA toner. You can skip toner, it's just a great tip and trick. Next step is going to be this is Nivea Men Aftershave Lotion. It's another cool product to moisturize your face and try to avoid your eye area. I have this Korean brand Sun Cream, and as I was advised to use more than I used to apply. And last but not least, I have this MAC prep+prime, and it's optional, guys. I know a lot of, say, YouTubers and makeup artists are skipping the primer, but let's do this for the sake of the video. And finally, it's time to do my foundation. While my face is more or less moisturized, I'm going with Essence Mousse Foundation. And the trick to apply this exact foundation is to use flat foundation brush. And it's really nice, thick bristles. Now I'm going to get a little bit of the product, that much, and just place it all over my face. Probably get a little bit more. But I don't really use a lot of mousse foundation, and I skip my under eye area. Okay, so it's on, and I'm not using Beauty Blender right away. At first, I'm doing contour, concealer, and only then I'm going with the Beauty Blender, because I don't really want to take off a lot of this mousse foundation with the Beauty Blender, and it might actually happen if you use it right away. Keep it in mind. Okay, my concealer is on, a little bit of bronzing, and now I'm going on top with my Beauty Blender to smooth everything out. Let's do now my powder. What I really love with this routine or any other routines is to add a little bit of loose powder on top, but I'm not doing a lot. You can actually do press-in powder with a puff, but for summer occasions, it's really good to use powder. Tap it off and brush off the powder on top of your foundation. If you have dry skin, you might actually avoid a lot of powder and use it only for the T-zone, but throughout the day, I still get a little bit oily, I guess, everywhere. I love adding at least a little bit of powder. And then with the same loose powder, I'll grab a little bit, use my Beauty Blender, and place it underneath my eyes. Okay, I'm gonna let it sit for some period of time. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be doing my contour, the rest of the contour, and top of the bronzer. I love using real contour, you know me. And I'll be back to show you other tips. I'm done with the rest of my makeup routine, and now we're ready to wipe off any powder leftovers that we used underneath my eyes. And it's really bright and a little bit scary. I actually really love the routine with Patrick Ta, adding a little bit of blush underneath if it looks rough and crazy with white colors. Okay, and now I grab my Fix and Spray and spritz the whole face, and I don't really let it air dry. I will always go on top with a Beauty Blender, but if you have mousse foundation underneath, try to be really careful because it wipes off easily with a Beauty Blender and moisture on top. So I'm really gentle and I'm hardly dabbing the Beauty Blender. When you're done with the Fix and Spray with the whole routine, go to your wet blush or cream blush. You can use any sort of lipstick as well. Just put it on the back of the hand. Use the back of your Beauty Blender and transfer all over your face with a Beauty Blender. And let's start with the back. And I grab this cream and place it on top. This way, when you're done with the Fix and Spray, it's not going to take off any powders. It's not going to take off any makeup look. It's going to look really pretty and melted in your foundation. And I skip my nose area because I don't really know why, but most of the time, if I do this routine with Beauty Blender on top of the powders and creams, unfortunately, it does take off my foundation. Go ahead and use a little bit of wet highlighter as well on top, that much. And when your face is a little bit wet with the cream products, go to your highlighter brush and use dry highlighter. Lightly brush it on top of my highlighter spots. Super pretty. For those days when I am going to be out in public and spend a lot of time exposed to the sun, I will always go to my NYX eye primer. You see that in my videos, I use my concealer a lot to do makeup look, eye makeup look, but for those days when I go out, I use something that is going to last long, and it is NYX primer, eye primer. Eyeshadows. You need to set your lid when you're done with your eye primer, because when you transfer your eyeshadows right after NYX primer, something bright and bold, it's going to look like a blush because it's a little bit sticky. The eye primer is a little bit sticky. So I'm going to go with some nude color, maybe a little bit of white, tap it off, and set the whole lid with translucent powder, with soft shades. When I do smoky or bright makeup look or dark makeup look, I always use a little bit of gray or maybe black or something dark first, and then I try to blend this out with a little bit softer shades or a little bit brighter colors to, you know, blend everything out. And I would always cover my lid or the under eye area with some paper to make sure that I have no fallouts in my foundation. I'm going to transfer the dark shade close to my lash line, try to create some sort of shape that I want to have. Tap off any eyeshadows, any leftovers on your brush, and then just stamp. Black colors or dark colors are better to stamp over your lid first. And I don't really drag the color up to my crease. It's a little bit lower than the natural crease. I have my flat brush, tap it off, and I want to create an angle like this. Make sure that it's going to be so much better to blend out later on. Okay, and now I have a little bit different brush. And now you can choose a little bit different color. It can be still dark, but probably a little lighter. Maybe this or this shade to brighten up the gray. And place it on top of my gray. And I'm still not dragging this too far to my brow. And last but not least, I have a little bit different brush. It's big, it's fluffy, it's pretty. And use the pop. It's really soft. You can use a little bit of this. Tap it off. Make sure that you don't really have a lot of the color. And place it on top of the previous shade to blend everything out and combine these three shades. The trick for silver lining, this shimmers are one of my favorite, and this eyeshadow palette is one of the best for shimmers. And I don't even use wet brush with the shimmers because they're looking amazing without wet brush. Look at that. It's so pretty. And look at that. I would probably go back to my dark color for the lower lid, and I always look up. It's given a little bit more access to this area, and I'm blending everything out with some leftovers. I'm gonna do my black eyeliner and hold my lashes with mascara, and I'll be back. And one more trick that I really want to share, and I know and I remember we did set the under eye area with a loose powder, but in case you feel like you might have some stains from your mascara, use loose powder. Grab your brush and transfer underneath your eyes like that. This way, when you coat your lashes, it's going to protect from any black spots and stains, and the under eye area is not going to have any black marks throughout the day. I will use this really beautiful e.l.f. lipstick. And on top, I'll do a little bit of this brown because lip pencil glides on so much better on top of wet formulas. And I have a little bit different one. This is Rouge Désir or something, and it's really bright pink, and I'll just place it in the center. Well guys, and this is the final result, and here are my tips and tricks that I do in makeup to make it look really pretty, really sexy, and as if you are a professional makeup artist. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.